Yeah, Jim, I was stood in the Jordan garage at the end of that race. Michael Schumacher might have won it, but you would never have known it. Eddie, what a fantastic result.
Well, it was good, not just for the team, but particularly good for Taku. A lot of people have said several things that may have been not quite true, but he displayed huge talent all this weekend. His qualifying was impeccable, and if you were to look and analyse his race performance, it was so consistent, so strong. Made a call in the beginning that it was understeering. The engineers changed and gave him a little bit more front wing, and the car got quicker. So he's right on the money here this weekend. He really knows what's happening, and that's fantastic for him.
He's lifted his game this weekend, like you say. How much do you think racing at home has contributed to that?
Well, he was one of the great believers in British racing. He came as a very young driver and challenged in the junior formulas, and he persisted at it, winning the British Formula 3 Championship last year. And when you consider just 1 year after that, here he is finishing 5th in his home Grand Prix. It was a big risk for us to take him, but we believed that he could make it and will make it. And I think he needs to get corporate Japan behind him now and pay some more yen to make sure he's in the right car for next year.
He's certainly got Formula One fans in Japan behind him. I mean, he's had a fantastic response all weekend, hasn't he, from the crowd?
Well, we've sold a lot of merchandising. I'm very happy for that. I can just see seas and seas of yellow, and that's obviously good for the poor old damaged bank balance. But, he has crashed a bit, and he has cost us quite a lot of money. And obviously, I don't want to take anything away from him. He has made an amazing job this weekend. I think he's been star of the show, this particular race anyway. Pity it wasn't done before, but he's on his way back here. I'm sure the people will go crazy here tonight, and so they should. They've got a big star now, and they need to look after him. They don't want to push him too hard. Let him grow properly, and they need some pushing and backing behind him, and then they've got a real champion possibly in the future.
You mentioned selling lots of merchandise. I know cash is a subject close to your heart. How much is this result worth to you?
This is such a great look at this.
I think we'll leave Eddie to his celebrations. Congratulations, Eddie.
Well, absolutely great scenes over there in Suzuka. Terrific stuff, and great for Takuma Sato. Let me just tidy up that constructors table for you, and indeed that is a precious 6th place for Jordan, 9 points, leapfrogging above Jaguar and BAR as well, and that is worth a very, very tidy amount of cash. Takuma Sato, he hardly stops smiling anyway. He's a very nice, genial sort of guy. He said this was going to be the busiest and the most emotional weekend of his life, no matter what happened to him in the Grand Prix. And here he is at the end, and we've got a new little star on our hands, haven't we?
He's my driver of the day, without question, because, you expect that of Michael Schumacher. He was expected to win. He had the best car. This man's had to work hard. He's had a very, very tough season, if you think of what he's been through. He deserves all the adulation. He deserves all the support from Japan, all the massive support from Honda, from Shuhei Nakamoto, who's the race team leader, and Mr. Tanaka, the man who's head of Honda Racing Development. They've all backed this young man who first watched a Grand Prix car when he was 10.
As a 10-year-old at that particular circuit. But when he came into Formula 1, he was involved in a lot of crashes, a lot of accidents, and his actual Formula 1 future, if we just dampen down all the enthusiasm, is still in doubt.
That is true. Although he has a contract, there is a possibility that Eddie Jordan, because he's going from Honda to Ford, he could move out. There has been stories that Sato could go as the test driver to BAR, so he's still in the Honda fold, and therefore the second seat free at Jordan. I think that'd be a great shame, but it's still a way of developing Sato for the future. And I agree with Eddie. I think because he has these lightning reactions, because he's got tremendous basic skill, he could be honed for a future star.
He's improved his act throughout the season, hasn't he, Sato?
No question. But if you add up the number of crashes, take biting the Armco at Monte Carlo to being crashed into by Heidfeld in Austria. Remember that horrible crash, which wasn't his fault, and he survived all of them.